What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeremy Wormy, and I have an update on the lovely complex dub writer fiasco that's been going on right now. And it's very interesting and unique. And because of this whole situation, because of a certain comment that was made that we will be going over, I'm actually having more concern with every dubbing company here in America. Almost every single dubbing company I no longer trust, because one of the things that this particular dubber said, after blatantly admitting that he vandalized the entire anime, that he changed aspects of the entire anime, changed stuff because he viewed it as being transphobic, because he hated the actual main character and thought that they were an awful person, an awful being, and all around horrible human being. After all that was said and done, they went on to say something very unique in that basically Discotech, Funimation, Crunchyroll, dubbing companies here in the West actually support all the changes the localizers have been making. So when you come over and see like the 8+ years of politicized English localizations and video games and anime, it gives new context that there's a good chance a lot of these localization companies actually have been supporting it, actually have been funding it, and actually have been also promoting it and saying, hey, let's do this here, let's do this here, let's do this here, and continuing this ongoing process of botched localizations. Well, after this particular user came out and they had their whole entire post actually yeeted from Patreon, apparently, the Patreon post, which is actually still over here on the Wayback Machine that Niche Gamer so lovingly gave us access to, we had a actual response from Discotech to lovely complex localization. Will not be working with him in the future, but I don't really like how Niche Gamer puts this, because when you actually go to the words from Discotech themselves, you get this. We are aware of the comments made by a contractor that worked on Lovely Complex. The English version was made with supervision and approval of the show's original producers. Dubs commonly punch up comedy and smooth over rough patches so that the end product aligns with the show's intended audience and provokes the intended response. And there will always be shades of gray when adapting a work. Anyone expecting exact fealty to the Japanese dialogue should be watching the subtitles, which Discotech has always presented with as little alteration as is possible when translating from a very different language. We are deeply disappointed at this individual's lack of professional discretion and will not be working with him in the future. We will continue to work on future projects with an eye towards satisfying as many fans as possible. Thank you for your continued support. So there is a point there that I do want to start pointing out here. Yes, when I actually break down this entire first paragraph, I can outright tell you a lot of this is total BS. A lot of this is total BS. When they say they worked alongside the original producers of the anime, yes, they technically do, because when they get the rights to dub anime here in the West, anime here in America, primarily, when they go to like all these different companies, you know, Funimation, Crunchyroll, I guess Discotech is one of them. They actually do get approval from the Japanese studios, from the Japanese producers, that you are allowed to make some changes, some alterations. But that's usually that little gray area that they mention right over here. You know, that little gray area with adaptions and stuff like that. That's usually when they are allowed to actually put aspects, their own politics, their own ideology, their own aspects and changes that they do there, because they already get pre-approval to do some of that, due to the fact that, yes, when you translate one-to-one Japanese to English, it doesn't work. That's why we asked you to get as close to humanly possible as possible. Stay as faithful to the original dialogue as humanly possible, because that's what we've always wanted. That's what we've always desired. And they understand that certain phrases, certain words aren't going to translate contextually or translate very well here in America. You can get entire words over there that when you translate it over here, it means something like dog, cat, or something really weird, and it doesn't really flow along the lines of maybe a battle scene. Oh my God, look at that dog, cat flying in the sky. Yeah, no. That doesn't work, and that's just an example that's not actually something that's been there, but you get the point from there. So yes, they do get pre-approval from producers, studios, everything like that to make these alterations. That's where they get the rights to make these alterations. But you come over here, anyone expecting exact fealty to the Japanese dialogue should be watching the subtitles, which Discotech has always presented with as little alteration as is possible when translating from very different language. Why should I have to read the subtitles to get that more accurate translation? Why can't you just take what you did for the subtitles and apply that to the dubs? No, quite literally, why can't you do that? Hmm? Because that's a very weird statement. That's kind of you marking off the support of what this particular dude said, what this guy actually said. Because this whole like disclosure, this whole like our response to what this guy said isn't like disagreeing with him. It's actually agreeing with everything he said. So far as them even like refusing to work with him and basically firing him, because that's actually something he ended up saying in the actual like back and forth here. Let me kind of find it right here. It is quite unprofessional to openly shit talk a property you've worked on in this industry. Linetti can't express any opinions as they have an official relationship with Sound Cadence Studios, Discotech, and Toei Animation. I, however, was a freelance contractor and do not have any of those things. I'm not speaking for Linetti anywhere in this post. Who can say what Linetti thinks? I don't know, but I will tell you what I think, and I think that Love Com is a bad show about Risa Koizumi, an actual psychopath and all over useless freak. Now, what he said there is yes, because he thought he was a independent contractor. He didn't fall under these certain guidelines, these certain provisions, anything like that, and they wouldn't care what he actually went out and said. But you get his first little line here. It's quite unprofessional to openly shit talk a property you've worked on in the industry. Basically means that if you do this, you're going to get blacklisted, you're going to get canned, you're going to get screwed over. But because he thought he was an independent contractor, basically working for free, it wouldn't bother him. He would be free from it. So yes, he did get he got yeeted. He got kicked out of the industry because of this. But you scroll down here. Blabbers exposes what the industry is doing in regards to these changes, which amount to nothing. In fact, publishers like Discotech Media, Funimation, and Crunchyroll are allegedly encouraging localizers to do what they want as long as they don't brag about it. As long as you don't brag about it, you're perfectly fine. Well, he went out and bragged about it, lost his job, and then basically when they said, hey, we're actually ditching this dude, we're going away from this dude, they blatantly admitted that they do side with this guy. They do support what this guy did, and they're here along with this guy. And now this company is actually going out and doing damage control. Because you come over here from Niche Gamer, Jello Apocalypse Vandalism didn't make it into the lovely complex final cut. Now, what is going on here? Because of this whole story, because of what this dude said, because of what's come out, Discotech and all these companies are now having to run massive damage control to try to persuade fans that no, nothing bad's going on here, nothing's awful going on here. And you scroll down here, here's the same guy that actually tweeted out this whole post, you know, the whole representative who's actually one of the CEOs of these particular companies and works very close to these particular companies. Well, he tweeted out literally the exact lines that a certain person claims he cuts because he didn't like the manga artist. Stop listening to him. There was no vandalism. The lovely complex dub is delightful. And you know, you come down here to those lines were still in the thing, but they were responding to somebody actually like showing, hey, he said he did this. He said he removed all these things. And this particular user said, no, they're still there. They're still here. By the way, pronouns in bio, and I'm not going to play the whole clip because I don't even really know what this clip is. I don't know what was taken out. All I know is the guy said this. Off note, the mangaka also makes a cameo in the final episode of the anime. She was up as a fashion designer and everybody praises how pretty and talented she is. She then tells Risa, it's my job to make you look good. I think you failed, ma'am. Linetti was the head writer on this and all decisions were final. But I did tell them that if we didn't cut the characters praising the mangaka out of the episode in our dub, I would quit the co-writing position on the spot. Now, what he does say there is they don't, he actually doesn't say what they're assuming they said here. What he said is if you cut it out, I'm going to quit. But apparently they didn't cut it out. So you're not actually disproving what happened there. It just shows that he maybe didn't quit or he didn't get one of his says in there, because the whole scene still plays out with the mangaka showing up as a fashion designer and everything like that. And, you know, I'm here to make you look pretty. So that still is there. That actually still doesn't disprove anything he said. That just says that maybe he didn't get this one thing across. That didn't say that he didn't get this aspect across. And when you have the CEO trying to come out, or not the CEO, pro animal, yeah, person who works at one of these places, one of these guys trying to go around actually do damage control on this. Again, you're not disproving anything he said. You're just showing that maybe one aspect of the thing that he wanted taken out isn't there. There's still fears here. There's still tons of fears here, especially because this is a massive thing. This is a massive issue going on right now. And when, again, in your actual like official response, don't disprove anything he said. You don't go against anything you said. You just point out, hey, actually, everything he's right, and we're firing him because he blew the top on all this. Everything, it's gone. Nothing you're saying is disproving him, and it's giving us more fears on like the 8+ years of politicized anime. You're giving us more fears due to this localizer debacle. You're giving us more fears on when Japan themselves admitted they go to companies like these to get changes made at the Japanese level. You're not disproving anything, and because of all these aspects, because of everything going on right now, and discussing these localizer tactics, discussing what's been going on in the actual anime community, you're not actually working with with an area of trust anymore. People are scared of what you guys are doing. People don't like what you guys have been doing, and people are going to continue scrutinizing every aspect of what's been going on, rightfully so, because again, you've had this going on for years and years and years. And I always love going to this particular one right here. The true joy of localization really is seeing what you can get away with. This has been a thought process permeating throughout the industry, permeating throughout every aspect of localization here in America, here in the West, whatever. They don't like the original products. They don't care about the original products, and they boast proudly about changing the original products for their own identity politic basis. Again, you just have to go to their actual like official response to everything that happened, and it tells you they do side with him. Everything he said was accurate. They're just now trying to go around do damage. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get your guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it out, friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.